San Bernardino, and eventually those undercover officers followed him all the way to Los Angeles, to the LAPD's Northeast Division. They tried to get some LAPD units behind it. They then tried to get Glendale behind it. But eventually, once he jumped on the freeway, it was CHP's jurisdiction, so they got behind it, and that's who's behind it now. So we've got at least 4 units of the California Highway Patrol behind this guy. And I'm saying guy because that's what they're confirming on the scanner. They're saying this is a male suspect, only person inside, and airship from the LAPD overhead. And real quickly, I'm just going to say a few words in Spanish for our sister station, Telemundo. Buenas noches una vez más desde el helicóptero. Yo soy Eliana Moreno reportando sobre una persecución policíaca que se encuentra en la autopista 5. Esto es cerca del área de Magic Mountain. Trabajadores de construcción de Caltrans tienen 2 carriles cerrados, tienen los 2 carriles de la mano derecha cerrados y los 2 carriles hacia la mano izquierda están abiertos, pero continúa aquí en la autopista 5 en dirección norte acercándose a la salida de la calle Newhall Ranch Road. Go ahead, George. They just spiked him. Thank you, George. So my pilot, George Marcineau, hearing that they might have deployed a spike there. I didn't see him hit it. I did see him hit a cone, though. He's almost going to hit that big rig there. That was a really close call. He had another really close call earlier in the pursuit. What looked to me like he almost hit a car. He might have tapped it earlier. It was a smaller sedan that was also on the northbound 5. He just made his way there through the construction zone. There were some Caltrans workers that had 2 lanes shut down in the area. We're beyond that closure, but you still do see a lot of cones here through the Santa Clarita area here on the northbound 5. And unfortunately, I'm just kind of thinking up ahead a little bit here. Once we get to Castaic, we can't follow this any further because of darkness. You've got those dark mountains there on the northbound 5. So it gets a little too dark for us. So we'll see if this ends before that, or if he exits, or if he decides to U-turn, and then we'll be able to stay overhead. But for now, we'll continue to give you the best images that we can here as he is maybe going to think about exiting. Nope. Northbound on the 5, coming up to Hasley Canyon. Again, narcotics trafficking suspect out of San Bernardino, still in an active police pursuit here with the California Highway Patrol on northbound 5. La persecución continúa aquí en la autopista 5 en dirección norte, acercándose a la calle de Newhall Ranch Road. La patrulla de caminos de California sigue persiguiendo a este conductor en esta camioneta roja en color, una Ford F-150. Una persecución que empezó en el área de San Bernardino y eventualmente la patrulla de caminos de California se juntó a la persecución cuando estaba en la autopista 134 en dirección este. Eventualmente nos cambiamos a la autopista 5 en dirección norte, donde nos encontramos ahorita, pero el conductor sigue yendo hacia el norte. Si continúa en esta dirección, eventualmente se va a ir del condado de Los Ángeles y entrar al condado de Kern County y tal vez terminar en áreas como Bakersfield posiblemente, pero como les digo, esta es una persecución que empezó en el área de San Bernardino y continúa aquí en Los Ángeles. Back with you guys here in English. So I was just saying in Spanish that eventually he's going to be out of LA County here pretty soon, and he's going to be entering areas like Kern County. He is slowing down a little bit. The freeway does start to have a gradual incline here as you continue northbound on the 5 into Castaic, so we'll see if that plays a factor. That's why you'll start to see some of the big rigs move to the right, because it's really difficult for them to travel at high speeds here through this area because of that grade. So continuing northbound on the 5, Parker Road. Again, as I was saying, eventually we're going to get to a point where we won't be able to follow it anymore because of darkness, but we will stay on this as long as we can for you here in News Chopper 4. Again, a chase that originated with San Bernardino undercover officers. They were trailing this narcotics suspect. They tried to get LAPD's Northeast Division officers behind it, and then they tried to get Glendale because it was in their area. But they really didn't have a lot of time to get those units behind him because he quickly jumped on that 134 West. So the California Highway Patrol swooped in and is now actively in pursuit here. At least 4 patrol units of the California Highway Patrol, along with the LAPD airship overhead. Yeah, you can basically hold around here, George, and I'll just follow with the camera. Thank you. Big shout out here to my pilot, George Marcineau, doing what he can to keep us on this. Of course, we are limited due to the dark conditions here as the 5 makes its way to the north here, leaving LA County and headed towards Bakersfield, essentially, if he continues. So what we're going to do is we're going to park it over Castaic, essentially, and use the camera to shoot to the north. So the vehicle is going to become ever so smaller here in the picture frame, but we'll continue to track it for you, continue to listen on the scanner as long as we can until we lose reception, of course. But northbound on the 5 at Lake Hughes Road in the Newhall area, you'll be able to see all the units behind him in this shot. So 4 units of the CHP behind him, LAPD airship overhead. And what's going to happen is eventually he'll get on the other side here of the pass of the Grapevine. And once he's on the other side, then some of the CHP units from that jurisdiction could take over so that these LA units can return back home. That's what's so convenient about a chase with the CHP, is because the CHP is the police of our freeway systems throughout the state. As soon as the pursuit enters a different area, the units from that area can take over the pursuit. So when we first got overhead, it was actually the Altadena units that were on it, and then they gave it over to the TAN or the Newhall units, and eventually they'll get over to the Kern County side, and then the units over there will take over. We won't be able to follow it at that point, but you can see that slowdown I was referring to with these big rigs. Oh, look at that splitting between big rigs. Wow. He might have done some damage to the car on that one. I could have sworn I saw sparks.
Good opportunity. It's also a construction zone. You see all the K-rail there on the right, and there were a couple of the right-hand lanes that were coned off as well, just north of the 126. So we start to see here as we climb that grade, you can see all the trucks that begin to slow down quite a bit. So we'll stick with this. Looks like he might have gone into the embankment there. I saw a little bit of dust flying up. So we'll cut back over there, getting kind of dangerous now.
And you're going to see, look, we see Sparks, Des. He's got no right rear tire. Yep. We've just heard that he's got no right rear tire. So we're starting to see Sparks. He's apparently on the rim, which is great news, and at least what's slowing this down. And, we talked about it just a couple seconds ago. There was also the incline of the grade that is slowing him down. But now we know that he's got a rear right tire that is flat. I hadn't heard of any spike strips yet. Des, did you?
There was some chatter up here with one of the helicopters. I know that they had been talking about it there around the 126, but we never heard anything about them say good spike or bad spike or anything like that. But there was a line from one of the law enforcement helicopters up here that made us think that it was possible that they did spike him, and now it seems that is most likely what caused this tire to go out. We do see the spikes flickering, so it's really going to be a matter of time. If this was on flatter ground, I mean, we'll see. Sometimes these trucks, they can really continue for a while, but now you're talking about going up a steep hill with only 3 tires, and if it's one of the rear tires, I mean, I believe these are rear-wheel drive trucks as well, so that's just really going to complicate things. We'll see how far he can push it if we're able to look here from a distance as we are. The next exit's Teplin Highway, but I think it's going to be quite a ways before we hit that.
And we want to welcome our viewers now to KCAL News at 10 alongside Juan Fernandez, Mike Rogers at the desk, and Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal. Hello, everyone. I'm Susie. So we've been following the CHP pursuit, and it has been going on for a while. We're talking about some spike strips and sparks flying. Let's go upstairs to Desmond Shaw live in SkyCal for the latest. Desmond.
Well, Susie, it is a pursuit that's been going on. It came out of San Bernardino County area. We believe it was undercover sheriff's deputies in that jurisdiction that wanted this suspect. CHP took it over once it got into LA County, and it appears that they were able to successfully spike one of the tires on this older model pickup truck. It never actually got close enough to see if it's a Ford or a Chevy. It might be a Chevy, I'm thinking here from this distance, but speeds definitely down. Unfortunately, the picture's not going to get really any better. I mean, yeah, you can see we're only at about 20 miles an hour, and he had been going 80 at one point, but we're looking from about 3 miles away now off the end of the lens at this one as we climb the grapevine. The suspect, I mean, the writing is on the wall. This is going to be over. They're just kind of running out the clock to see, just kind of maybe the last few moments of freedom here for this suspect. But going this slowly, I mean, you see how many units there are. They're in the helicopter as well. So if he even tried to get out and run into the wilderness, they're going to have their spotlight on him, instantly. So it's basically over for this suspect. But, it continues. And I got to mention that when it does end, this is going to be unfortunate news for all the truckers out here because the 5 freeway is going to be shut down for at least a couple of minutes at the very least. If this does not turn into a standoff situation, and we've certainly seen that one before, guys.
Yep, a few things slowing him down. He's down a tire. He's also going up the grade there on the 5 freeway through the Newhall Pass. And Mike, we're looking at possibly a narcotics suspect. Is that right?
Yeah, so the information that we have, and we're working to get some more from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, but they are the ones that initiated this.
There he goes.
And, looks like we're coming to a stop.
It wasn't even able to get over to the shoulder. And, it's so warm out there. You're seeing kind of the heat signature rising there from, and that's why the picture looks so blurry right now. And not really, unfortunately, able to do anything about that, even with all the technology that they have. Let me see if I can try the magnifying glass, if that helps at all. Maybe a little bit.
Just a little bit does, yeah.
The vehicle now, completely stopped here, northbound 5 before Templin Highway. And like I said, now let's see, is the suspect going to surrender? All these folks are stopped. And, who knows how long that could take. It might take a couple of minutes. It could take an hour if the suspect decides that that's what they want to do.
And, Mike, you're talking about this coming all the way from San Bernardino County.
Yeah, San Bernardino County, and it was detectives with San Bernardino County that were chasing it originally, unmarked units from the Sheriff's Department out there. All they know or all they were relaying is that it was some sort of narcotics suspect. We don't have any further details on who they believe this person is. They were kind of questioning back and forth. Before CHP got involved, they wanted to know what it was they were getting involved with. So there was a number of questions that were being asked back and forth, and San Bernardino said they kind of have an idea of the driver, who the driver is, but maybe not a definitive, kind of name or something like that.
Right.
So that's all they got. And then, of course, CHP gets involved, and it's just there. So they asked those unmarked units to back off. But I would venture to guess, and it's hard to see because it's so dark down there, that San Bernardino Sheriff's detectives didn't just go home. They're somewhere down there trailing, hoping to take this person into custody once he's out. Des, I can't tell if those are arms up. Okay, he's out.
Yeah,
I can
arms
see him,
are.
yeah.
He's got a blue shirt on, and those kind of black pixels over to the right, those are officers out there with their guns drawn. But the suspect is complying, so this is going to be good news for everyone stuck in this mess. And we got hands up, so he's just going to walk backwards into handcuffs, and then once he does, they can push this vehicle, hopefully with their push bar in front. They can just push it into the dirt there, and hopefully let traffic go. So actually, pretty decent place as far as if this is going to end, because there is construction zone. You see all the K-rail on both sides, but they should be able to get this vehicle pushed out of the roadway here as soon as they get the suspect in handcuffs.
And hopefully get that freeway reopened before traffic backs up too badly, right, Des?
Yeah, well, let's just go ahead and take a look at it here while we can. Everything is stopped.
Look at
obviously
that.
This is the main thoroughfare from SoCal to the Central California and beyond. So, but he is walking backwards. He is complying. Once we see the suspect in handcuffs, then and all of that is taken care of, then we'll take a look at the true backup here. But yeah, you know how it goes through. I mean, you do have the old ridge route as an alternate, but that's kind of a dicey road. I wouldn't really recommend that. And hopefully they're going to be able to reopen lanes here shortly. It looks like they are putting handcuffs on him right now. So a lot of trucks here, though. They are going to be stuck in this mess. It's going to be a reverberation. That's actually not a massive backup right now. So if they can reopen the lanes here shortly, that should clear out maybe within about 5 minutes' time. And just kind of create a minor annoyance. But a very long pursuit here that was threatening to go into the dead of night up at the grapevine. And we were able to get some view, anyway, of the ending here, northbound 5 before Templin Highway with one suspect in custody.
Looks like we're seconds away from a code 4 there, Desmond, and we're starting to see some of those units moving on, getting a little closer to that older pickup truck there on the northbound 5.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, this was a narcotic suspect, so they're definitely going to be searching the vehicle, and they're probably going to. And I think are they actually pushing the vehicle out right now? Yeah. So look at that. CHP. I mean. Some other agencies, it doesn't. I'll just say it doesn't seem like a top priority for them to push vehicles out of the roadway in a situation like this. CHP, They said, let's get everything open here. Let's get everybody moving. We can conduct the investigation in the dirt. So, like I said, it ended up being if it was going to end on the 5 towards the Grapevine, this was a pretty good place for it to happen here, where they could push it out of the way. And hopefully now we'll reopen lanes here pretty quickly.
All right, the CHP pursuit coming to an end tonight in the Newhall Pass with a narcotic suspect. Thank you very much, Desmond.